Big it up, big it up. Yeah.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Casual Wrestling Community Show. I am your host, the Notorious Nerdy D, and I am joined tonight by the co-host of this show, Level Up Lauren. Tonight, I'm about to break down the best of pro wrestling for all the true casual fans out there. So whether you are listening on podcast networks or watching on YouTube, make sure to like and leave a comment on this week's episode. Right off the bat, housekeeping. November 1st is the official first week launch of the season 1 content for the Casual Wrestling Community page. There will be a new show, Casual Wrestling Daily, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Central Time, United States. And that will be a daily breakdown of the news. And also we will be doing WWE in Review, which is like a 10-minute show where we go back and you guys submit matches for us to watch that we either haven't watched or we haven't watched in a long time. And we'll review those matches and place them in the most notorious list of casual wrestling matches ever. That's fun. I already recorded one episode of that. So
awesome.
And then you've agreed that you think you're going to do that show with me. So the first episode was just me by myself, but I do think it'll be more fun if you go back, because I started to watch, we had a second match, this kind of spoiler here. The second match is going to be The Rock versus Hulk Hogan.
I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
And I started it, and I got through the kind of preview and the entrances. I said it's going to be hard to beat CM Punk and John Cena for me. But like right off the bat, the energy in that match was fucking fire. It was exciting. So I'm excited. I stopped it because I thought it'd be fun to watch with you. So we'll go ahead and watch that with you. All right. So something I want to get on the record. New thing I'm going to do at the beginning of the show is things I want to get on the record.
All right.
And there's something I want to get on the record because this last week on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, the way it kind of works is if something becomes trending that I've talked about, those videos resurface and we start to see comments and likes and things. So I want to go on record because there's a video that is kind of repopulated back up into my feed that we recorded about 3 months ago. And it's a YouTube short and a TikTok. And it was me talking about Liv Morgan's title run. And if I remember correctly, in that video, I said best case scenario for Liv Morgan was 3 months.
Yeah.
Her title run was 98 days.
Damn.
Fucking nailed it. I mean, I nailed that. And I was rooting for her towards the end. I converted over. I don't know that I wanted Ronda to be champion again. I was hoping Extreme Rules was a moment for Liv where she looked extreme and we kind of moved forward going, all right, she'll never be the top dog, but she belongs, and that's not what we got. But I did want to get it on record that I was right when I said 3 months. It was a transitional title run. It was when we look back at this, it was just a tool to get Ronda into a different position. It was not a tool to build up Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about our trending topic of the week. And my trending topic of the week, because I know this is going to trend once we start talking about it, it always does. But I feel like I gave this some time. I let this air out. For the last 3 or 4 weeks, I have chosen not to speak on this topic because I don't like to beat a dead horse. I don't like to continue to talk about something every week. But I feel like after watching Monday Night Raw last week, that it is time that I bring this back up and I re-talk about this, and we can talk about it in a little bit of maybe a different way. But can we just admit right now, can we all get around and agree? Can the people who were with me and all the people who made the videos against me, can we just admit Dominic Mysterio is not that guy? He's not that guy. And at this point, Lauren, I have sympathy for him because I don't think it's his fault.
Okay.
I don't think it's his fault. He doesn't have the reps. He doesn't have the practice. He hasn't been around long enough. He was thrown into a position that he's not supposed to be in. He's not supposed to be on national TV every week. He doesn't have that energy. And so we've got to see him now as a face. And now I feel like we've gotten a big enough sample size of Dominic Mysterio as a heel at this point. And he just lacks charisma. He lacks the ability to talk on a microphone.
There's awkwardness.
It is. It's very awkward. And like I said, I'm sympathetic to him because I know what's going to happen. I know as soon as you cut this into a TikTok or a YouTube clip and you put this up, there's going to be the defenders. There's the Dominic defenders, the DD, the Dominic defenders. And they love Dominic like they love a cute little puppy, right? He's their baby and they want him to do well. And fuck it, I want him to do well, but he's not doing well. He's not doing well. And the first thing they're going to point to is he's so over as a heel with the crowd. He's not. And let me explain to you why. He's not over as a heel with the crowd. He has right now what I'd like to call situational heat.
What's that?
He's been put into a situation because everybody loves Rey Mysterio and they hate the Judgment Day. He's put into a situation where there's no choice but to boo Dominic Mysterio right now.
Yeah.
And every time he gets a microphone, he has a little bit of go away heat and he has a lot of situational heat. Now, if you have any kind of charisma and any kind of personality, that's the kind of heat that you can take and shift and turn it into real heat. Real bad guy heat. But right now, he doesn't have that. He is a product of how mad everybody is at him for turning on Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, right? Let's be honest when we talk about, they're not letting him talk.
No.
They give him one-liners or two-liners. They let him say something, and then they move on quickly. He's being carried by the Judgment Day at this point. He's being carried, more importantly, by Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is carrying him.
You took the thoughts right out of my head.
With the little whispers and things like that. But what this is why I tell you, I sympathize with Dominic Mysterio. This is a reps issue. This is a time issue. He needs to, more now than ever, it's painfully obvious, he needs NXT. He needs to go down there with a long-term commitment and get this charisma and personality straightened out, which he may never do. Some people just aren't meant to pick up a microphone and talk to other people and perform.
Yeah, it's definitely a learned skill.
Right now, this is nepotism. Right now, you're putting a guy who doesn't belong on national TV every week, and I feel sorry for him because they're not doing him any favors. Judgment Day is not doing Dominic Mysterio any favors. Triple H is not doing Dominic Mysterio any favors. And then you get people like DDP, who, nothing against DDP. This man knows wrestling. He knows it more than I do. I'm coming from a casual fan, but he understands how the pizza is made. But he came out and said, if they would just book Dominic like they booked The Rock and shove him down our throats, make him look dominant, that the fans would get behind him. That's not, I can tell you as a fan, as a casual fan, DDP, we're not going to get behind him because he doesn't have the charisma.
Yeah.
You're talking about The Rock, who was literally possibly the most charismatic wrestler of all time. You book him that way, and eventually he's going to get over. You book a guy who looks so uncomfortable out there.
It's almost cringy at times. Like I told you, every time that he comes out, it's so weird that he always puts his arm on like everybody's shoulder.
No, does he put his arm on, or they put their arm on his shoulder? They still treat him like a little fucking
He's like
kid.
a baby, like, come this way.
I agree. They still, it's like he got away from Rey Mysterio and now he's got a bunch of big brothers or a big sister or whatever the weird relationship is. But I got a question for you. And I did this earlier, just messing around, and I'll do it right here. But is there anybody on the WWE roster? Let's just start with Monday Night Raw. And we don't even have to do SmackDown. We'll just do, is there anybody on the Monday Night roster, if I go through this roster, that you would rather see in a match? Or let me rephrase this. Is there any other wrestler that you wouldn't rather see in a match than Dominic Mysterio? Would you rather see AJ Styles?
Yes.
Would you rather see Akira Tozawa? I think so.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss.
Oh, yeah.
Angelo Dawkins. Austin Theory.
Yep.
Baron Corbin.
Yep.
Bayley.
Yep.
Becky Lynch.
Yep.
Bianca Belair.
Yep.
Bobby Lashley.
Yep.
Candice LeRae.
Yep.
Carmella.
Yep.
Chad Gable.
Yep.
Cody Rhodes. Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dolph Ziggler.
Of course.
Edge.
Yes.
Elias. Io Sky.
Yeah.
The OC. The new guys.
Yeah, even the new guys. I don't know them yet, but I like them.
But you rather see them. Kevin Owens.
Oh, fuck
Logan
yeah.
Paul. Matt Riddle. I can keep going. But the point is, he's taking up prime time. every week. I mean, there's some weeks he's in the main event.
Yeah.
And there's literally nobody I would rather watch almost any other wrestler on the roster because I don't see growth. I don't see him becoming. You can spin any way you want, people. Spin any way you want. He's getting better. I don't see it. I don't see him getting better. I don't think he's getting booed because of heel heat. I think he's getting booed because of situational heat. And I think they moved Rey Mysterio to SmackDown because they know Dominic can't work this program through WrestleMania. It's going to get awkward. It's going to get weird. So what they're going to do is they're just going to remove the two from each other, and then they'll reintroduce them when they want this feud to conclude, which I'm guaranteeing you is likely around WrestleMania in Hollywood. That's what they're looking for, is the father-son dynamic. I just don't foresee, if they continue to use Dominic Mysterio the way they are, I don't foresee any way Dominic Mysterio can't be. He's just a prop. At this point.
He can only beat up his dad so many times.
But that's my point. What happens after that's done? There's nothing for Dom. There is nothing. He's not going to go on. He's not winning titles. He's not believable. Every time when he beats someone like AJ Styles, we all do cringe a little bit because we know, like,
he totally let him win.
We have to, but we have to give this guy a chance to develop, but also he's not developing. I think that best case scenario for Dominic Mysterio is he somehow figures out to struggle through the next 3 or 4 months. He gets to WrestleMania. He gets the payoff match with his dad, and then he goes to NXT. That's really what needs to do. And then he gets a lot of reps in NXT. Yeah. And he works NXT like he's an NXT guy. Not like you're a WWE guy going to NXT, but as an actual NXT guy. I think that is the best case scenario for Dominic Mysterio. All right, so this is a new segment. I'm replacing the rumors with I found it on Twitter.
I like it.
So this will give us, it's not just rumors, but it's just things that when I'm scrolling through my Twitter feed and I see things that are wrestling related and I go, oh, that's interesting, right? Some of it will still be rumors. So let's start with my first, I found it on Twitter. So my first thing here is I found on Twitter. This comes from Pro Wrestling Chronicle. And it is that Shinsuke Nakamura will be making additional appearances on WWE NXT's brand. So I say this was fitting coming out of the Dominic Mysterio because if Shinsuke can do it, there's no reason Dominic can't do it. And this is we're going to talk about this a little later in the show, but I'm all about main roster characters moving down to NXT and having runs. It just makes NXT more interesting and more watchable for me. And then I get to see people I know and get to then learn new people that I didn't know before. Thought this was interesting for you.
Okay.
I want you to chime in on this one.
Right.
This is from Bunt of the Burial Squad.
Okay.
And he says this one should be fun. Who has the worst theme song in all of WWE? I chose WWE. It's pro wrestling, but we tend to watch more WWE. So who in your mind right now has the worst theme song in pro wrestling? Worst.
Okay.
I think a lot of them are bad. When I look at a lot of them are generic. I don't love new wrestling music as much as like Attitude Era music. And I'm not being that old guy like things were always better. Yeah. I just think like the music has gotten a little worse. Would you like me to give you mine?
Yeah, give me yours. And then are we going from like old ones or new ones or just new like right now?
Current music that people are coming out to. Madcap Moss.
True.
I mean, his is the most generic theme song for a guy who could use a shot of character.
Yeah.
He's got intangibles, but he just doesn't have the character yet. He needs a theme song that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I think Hit Row. I don't love Hit Row's song.
Oh, I don't get Hit Row at all, to be honest.
I don't get, I mean, I just, like, there could be a better song. There could be a better song for Hit Row. And then last, this is probably the one that I think is the worst. Just because it like, Raquel Rodriguez.
I like her theme song.
Oh, I don't like the fucking Spanish guitar at the beginning.
I think it's very befitting because that's what she is, a Mexican mamacita.
Yeah, but I just like anytime a theme song like correlates directly to your race, it bothers me a little bit. Like have a character that's not defined by your race.
Well, that's what she is. She's like
no, she's a badass is what she is. She's a badass fucking athlete.
I might get some hate for this, but I don't really like Rhea Ripley's.
So I saw that when I scrolled there was quite a few that said like the hardcore metal songs are a lot of people's least favorite.
Yeah, I don't really like hers at all.
You're referring to the one pre-Judgment Day because she does have a Judgment Day version. The pre-Judgment Day one
because like it was never memorable to me, and to me, a song should be memorable to you.
Interesting. Like
and like you might hate Raquel Rodriguez's. I don't think I said that right, but or I don't know how it goes, but it's yes. And I know it's her.
Yeah, but I mean, Rhea Ripley started out with "This is my brutality." No, I liked that.
I didn't
one.
like it.
The kick and everything. That's interesting. So everybody, let us know what is the worst theme song in. Let's do WWE. Let's not do because I don't know enough. Like I know AEW fucked up Orange Cassidy. He had maybe one of my favorite theme songs, and now he's coming out to a different song.
Oh, really? I'll have to listen to it.
Last found this on Twitter for the week is from Zero News at Zero News. There are plans to have a main event title on Raw for early 2023, but it is not the World Heavyweight one. Interesting. We've talked about this. With lineage being so important to a lot of people in WWE, if they just create a new title, the lineage is going to get messy. Because you're going to still have, I guess the plan here is to keep the other belts unified.
Yeah.
And then to create a new world title, or maybe this is just another world title. I'm assuming this could be a European title of some kind. I think that they could bring that back. They've done a pretty good job of making the United States Championship feel.
Now, I don't know what the European title is. I've heard of it. Heard you talk about it. Is it?
Attitude Era, the best I can explain it to you from my point of view is Attitude Era. There was basically 3 mid-card belts. There was the United States Championship, there was the Intercontinental Championship, and then there was a third that was the European Championship. I never really understood the names are misleading.
I was gonna say,
anybody could win it.
Might sound really dumb because like are only Europeans allowed to win it? Like that's what makes no sense to me.
No, I think the belt just represents that region.
Okay.
I think they're just like technically the champion of that region is what it is. But the belts, it was always a little confusing to me was like, so, okay, these belts are named after specific like North American champion, but anybody can win it.
Yeah.
I think the belt is just supposed to symbolize like a region of an area.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on here to, I'm going to do some rapid fire questions back and forth for us here for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown.
Okay.
First question I have, Lauren, that we can both answer here is, are we a fan of Rey Mysterio joining SmackDown and becoming Gunther's next opponent? Are you a fan?
No. I don't like it at all.
I'm not either. To me, the same thing that Dominic suffers from a little bit, Rey Mysterio suffers from a little bit as well. And that is, I don't know that he's exciting to me outside of the dynamic of father and son.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge Rey Mysterio person to start with. The father-son stuff has been fun. The Judgment Day stuff has been fun. Now that he's just ripped out of that story and placed on SmackDown to get him away from Dominic, I don't know how excited I am. I know what I'm not excited for.
What?
Is to see Gunther put into the ring again with another sub 6 foot wrestler. Yeah. We saw what happened with Ricochet when he damn near kicked his chest plate out. I mean, you remember how hard he kicked that man?
Yes,
He kicked him so hard, I thought he died.
So I'm going to sound a little, this is hypocritical, 100%. I don't like Rey Mysterio thing, even though his is based on his like heritage and all that stuff.
You just got done with the Raquel Rodriguez. Everything about the Rey Mysterio character works. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's very.
I mean, he's very talented. I love all the flips and shit that he does. Definitely,
I respect. He's one of those guys I look at and there's nothing wrong with him at all, except it just doesn't click for me. And not everything's gonna click for me. But what does click for me is fucking Sheamus and Gunther. And I guess we're done with that. And Sheamus isn't going to get a chance to win the Intercontinental title, which felt like that was the apex of what we were building to, unless this is just a breather. And the idea is kind of like Dom and Ray. They're gonna circle back to this, but I don't need to see Gunther sub 6 foot opponents. After you guys showed me, after Triple H, after you showed me what fucking brutal type of matches that Gunther can have with guys like Sheamus, put him in the fucking ring with Karrion Kross or Solo and let's fucking go.
Yes, there's so many other people they could have done.
I need a guy who can match physicality and that intensity. And it's not Ray. Like Ray will put on good matches. It'll be the David versus Goliath fucking theme all over again.
Yeah.
But I've seen that story enough that I want Gunther in fucking battles. Second question, Lauren, are you excited for the return of LA Knight?
So yes, because we got like a glimpse of him that one time that we watched NXT, and you told me how like cool he was, and then the next thing I saw him, he was maximum male models. So I'm excited to see and experience him for the first time because I don't know what to expect.
I'm not far off from that answer. I saw a little bit in NXT, and then I've seen the same as you, the maximum male model stuff. He has the presence of a superstar. Mm-hmm. He commands the ring. He has personality. He has charisma. I can't pass judgment on his wrestling skills yet. I haven't seen him wrestle that much. Maybe 1 or 2 times.
Yeah, me neither.
And the knock on the guy that I've always read is that he has Rock vibes. That he looks like he's competent. What the fuck's wrong with that? We could use a little more of a Rock attitude in WWE. I see it. I see the mannerisms. I know you didn't watch The Rock as much, so you're not going to pick up on the way he holds his arms and the way he his speech patterns. But if that
worked, why not emulate it?
Well, so there's 2 different things, right? There's what do you call it when you just plagiarism, right? There's plagiarism where you just here's this character, I'm going to carbon copy it. There's also something that's flattering when you take elements of something that you grew up really enjoying and then you make it your own. Mm-hmm. And I think that's natural. That happens everywhere. They do with
music, right?
It happens everywhere. Yeah, music is one of the biggest places. So I think if this version of LA Knight has elements of The Rock, but he makes it his own, I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't see the negative in having a character like The Rock appear on someone that is vibrato, that has confidence, that will speak, that will talk down to other people. Like I like that character. That character resonates me. So for everything that Rey Mysterio doesn't click with me, it's looking like LA Knight will click with me and be a character that I enjoy watching on a regular basis. Next question. What do we think about Bray Wyatt's promo? Now that we're about a week removed, SmackDown is a couple hours away. Let's talk about it while we have the chance. What do we think of Bray Wyatt's promo from last week? This is the one where he came out and he kind of spoke from the heart. Then he was cut off and the masked figure kind of talked him down off of like, that's not what we're doing. What?
Well, first of all, I'm super fucking excited that Bray Wyatt's back. Number 2, I was kind of confused at first. And I know you had to explain to me like, no, this is the other dude taking over. So I have no idea what's going to happen. But anything that Bray Wyatt does, I'm down for.
So the consensus on the internet, well, there's no consensus. It's split down the middle. There's a group of people who think the Wyatt 6 are going to be characters.
Okay.
And then there's the group of people who I think I now fall into. I'm going to say I think I fall into that these 6 people are Bray Wyatt. These are going to be 6 personalities of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And we're going to get this schizophrenia of spinning in and out. What do I rate the promo? A. Because WWE doesn't do that. They don't let people come out and speak from the heart. Mm-hmm. And I think that was 100%.
I mean, that could have been why I was confused because I've never seen anything like that before with them. Agree. But
it felt honest. It really did. It felt honest, and it feels like there's more to this, and it feels like this there's going to be this push and pull between being a character and him speaking his real feelings. Bray Wyatt's first opponent may just be himself. We may get no, and I don't mean that as a joke. We may just get a few months of him battling his own demons and not really getting into. He may be in some matches, but he may not really get going until around WrestleMania. So I have a question.
If these people that came out were all the 6 versions of himself, but we physically saw them, like, how does that make sense?
It's metaphor. I mean, it's they don't have to be real people. It's wrestling. Wrestling doesn't make 100%
exactly.
sense.
So see, I don't know what to expect, and I'm excited no matter what.
And I can't tell you with no fail that there's not going to be 6 people inside of Bray Wyatt's stable at some point. Maybe these personalities manifest and he somehow passes them to other wrestlers. There's a lot of possibilities, but. For as far as right now, where I'm swaying on what this is, I do think this is.
I need more though, because I feel like they gave it to us, and then they're like,
I think he's supposed to be on tonight.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be more Bray Wyatt tonight. And they're going to drip feed this like they drip feed everything else. But like, hopefully we start getting some clarity on what this is.
Yeah.
This was almost its own topic, but I put this in the rapid fire here. What did you think of Baron Corbin's repackage?
Ew, like what the fuck was up with his outfit? It looked like he came out straight out like Camelot or something, and like...
So the internet had no problem with it. Like going through the wrestling forums and going through Twitter, most people were okay with the repackaging. I'm going to fucking say I absolutely hated it and was absolutely confused by it. I'll go with what you just said. The ring attire, fucking horrible.
Yes.
Horrible.
I couldn't get past that. I'm sorry.
The leather sleeveless vest with the generic black and red pants didn't scream anything but like work or jobber. Like,
yeah,
this didn't. So JBL came out. He's basically, the gimmick seems to be, it's like wrestling god. This guy could have existed in the Attitude Era. This guy's the best. Nothing read that way. Number one, the theme song. We got a worse version of his Happy Corbin theme song. Yes. That didn't make sense. If this is a repackage and a new character, what is with the slot machines and all that shit? That was the Happy Corbin thing. We should have got a repackage with complete new music. What really changed? Other than he put on bad clothes.
Nothing.
Because he still was smiling a lot. He was still kind of happy.
And a stupid hat on.
In fact, they took a guy who I think has all the intangibles. He's good at everything. He's got size. He's got athleticism. He can talk on a microphone. And they took a guy who's fully capable of cutting his own promo. And they let JBL go out there and just kind of like I said with Dominic, it's situational heat, right? People don't like JBL. So in turn, they're not going to like Corbin. But I don't know that works here, right? There were so many other ways we could have gone. We could have gone Cowboy Corbin.
Dude, that's what I was fucking hoping for.
We could have gone Cowboy Corbin. We could have gone arrogant millionaire Corbin and had him in suits and very similar to JBL. We could have gone wrestling god and given him this Greek kind of feel.
Oil tycoon.
Yeah, anything like that. Well, that's kind of JBL, was the oil tycoon. We could have gone back to the lone wolf. I mean, if you need to go back and watch some of the original Corbin when he had hair, he was the lone wolf and he came out in the dark and there was a spotlight and it worked. And I think Corbin 2022 could pull off that gimmick even better. I don't know though. I don't know. I'll take a wait and see approach with this. But as far as I'm concerned, like somebody get him to fucking wardrobe. Someone get Baron Corbin to wardrobe right now and get him a new fucking outfit, because that leather vest and generic ass pants, they're not doing it.
Fuck yeah. I mean, it's perplexing that the internet didn't see it and think it was disgusting.
We're not always right. I mean, I'll admit I'm not always right. And I'm not always, one thing that I pride myself on this show is just because I get online and I look and I go, oh, everybody likes this. I don't get on this show and go, I'm going to talk good about this because this will be favorable. Nah, man. If I don't like something, I'm going to fucking say I don't like it. I'm confused by that. Are you a fan of the chaotic Raw and SmackDown openings that we've been getting?
No, because I'm fucking lost, and half the time, because we like watch it afterwards, when I'm fast forwarding, I'm like, fuck, did I miss something?
I think used sparingly, they're effective, but it has felt a little bit like it's happening more and more often. And like you said, we are DVR watchers. Our schedule doesn't allow us to sit down and always watch Raw and SmackDown the minute it happens. And our DVRs are cutting off certain things, like they're coming in going, there's been a car accident. I'm like, a fucking car accident?
There a car accident?
Is he fucking okay? Is this a work? Is this real? And maybe that's effective. Maybe that's what they're going for. But it was the same with like coming in on the middle of Bobby Lashley's promo. Sometimes that feels like we're being left out. Right? We come in and it's like, oh, they started the show without television. It's a little bit weird. I'm not a huge fan of that if I'm going to be, if I'm going to criticize something. Last two questions here. What could the Miz be hiding?
The secret. I don't know. Maybe he did something for him that he doesn't want everybody to know. Or I have no idea. To me, I've lost a little bit of interest ever since you told me this was a comedy thing, which I didn't believe it was. I've lost a little bit of interest. I'm still paying attention. But I want, like, the more important thing in this whole thing is hashtag, where the fuck is Ciampa? Yeah.
Where the fuck is Ciampa?
Yeah.
He's got to be involved in this, right? Something happened with Ciampa, and that's got to be the secret or something, or there's more to
I have no idea.
Where the fuck is Ciampa? I know we talked about repackaging him, but when? I missed the motherfucker. I was so behind Ciampa. KO and Ciampa seemingly disappeared. KO showed up on fucking NXT, so wellness check. Okay, we know KO's okay, but I don't know where the fuck Ciampa is. Johnny Gargano, he's got good comedic timing. He's actually helped out this story a little bit.
I've liked him.
I like him involved in this. Supposedly the Miz is working really injured, which is, once again, the fucking Miz is a trooper.
Oh, he really is injured?
Yeah, apparently he's got like a bursa sac that bursted or something.
Fuck is
I don't know. It sounds
sac?
like some shit. I don't want to.
Sounds like a. Never mind.
And lastly, why is Indy Hartwell not involved in this? And maybe she is. Maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but like it feels like the Miz and Maurice is tailor fit for Dexter Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
And what was the need to cut that story off for Dexter Lumis if he was coming back into a comedic role?
Yeah.
I thought he was coming back serious, and we needed to kind of get rid of the trim the outside bullshit. But I don't know, why is Indy not involved?
No. Maybe maybe they did like a turn there and they had planned on it being serious, and they were like, no.
I'm not even going to speculate on that. Last question from Raw and SmackDown is, who came out of the Riddle Rollins feud with more momentum in your opinion?
I honestly am going to go Riddle here for me, because I feel like I saw a completely different side of him through all of it. And we had mentioned it one time, like how he opened up about his family and stuff like that. And I always just saw Riddle as bro.
Yeah, I see that. I think ultimately, to me, this rivalry started hot with all that backstage stuff and the interviews, and it just kind of fizzled out to me. I don't think either guy came out better. I think that both guys leave low on momentum. Seth got his momentum from winning the United States Championship.
Yeah.
And Riddle, once again, is kind of on an island of like, what is going on? So it looks like Seth Rollins will be defending his United States title against Mustafa Ali. And then the best that I can tell is that Elias is going to heel turn, or Riddle's going to heel turn. One of them is going to heel turn, and I believe they're starting something there. So this is one of those, like, the feud happened. I don't know that anybody just came out of it fucking steaming hot. I think they protected both guys. They both came out fine, and now both guys are moving on to different places.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to our topic of the day. And our topic of the day is the new premium live event schedule. So there's lots of shifting in the 2023 premium live event calendar. It's been announced and rumored that a lot of the pay-per-views or premium live events that we know are being just changed. And we'll start off by talking about day one is canceled.
Why?
It's just, so this is just, I don't have, you're asking me as if I canceled it.
Tell me the answers.
I did not cancel it. I'm reading from the information that I've pulled together from the internet. Day one is canceled. And I'll tell you, I didn't love this pay-per-view from the beginning. I don't like an event that runs on a holiday. I think that's messy. I think that, like, if you plan to do anything other than watch, you know, if you have New Year's plans, you might be too fucked up to watch it later on either way. You may go somewhere. So I don't love pay-per-views that coincide with holidays. I've always felt like the Royal Rumble to me is the better January premium live event.
Yeah,
so
I could see that.
I like that being the staple and kind of carving out a path for the Royal Rumble being the first. I don't know that it's going to be, but I like Royal Rumble being the first event of the year. It feels like it kicks off a new year of wrestling. The Elimination Chamber is now going to be exclusively a Saudi event for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
No, I have no issues here unless they continue to cater to the Saudi crowd. I don't like the way that Crown Jewel seems to, you get Logan and Roman, you get a lot of Goldberg, you get a lot of like Brock Lesnar coming back. They play to the Saudi crowd. The Saudi crowd wants all of these big names. And for Crown Jewel, I'm okay, right? If this is placed late in the fall and it's Crown Jewel and this is kind of like an all-star game is what we'll consider it, where we bring in a bunch of different names and we do this big event, I'm good with that. But if 2 times a year now we have to cater to a specific like demographic audience, I don't like that. So if they can just continue to run the stories the way they're going, I got no problem with it. But if it does begin to cater, it will be a problem. Yeah. And it will get old quick. There's supposed to be a yearly UK event. I think that was obvious, right? After Clash at the Castle.
Fucking cool.
European crowds are fucking amazing. Like
I agree 100%.
They make the events feel bigger than
we always say, like when we go watch it in San Antonio, it feels
it's
like
a dead crowd.
Bleh.
I call it a dumb crowd. I'm not calling people dumb, but it's a dumb crowd. They don't understand when to cheer. They don't understand when to boo.
No interaction.
It's very like cut and dry. Like that's the bad guy. I'm not going to like him. With European crowds and international crowds, they tend to just cheer for who they like, and they got fucking chants and songs.
Yes, I like that.
And I do too. So and then that's how WrestleMania always feels. When you go to WrestleMania and you get this influx of international fans. It's always way, way, way more fun.
Yeah.
So, and then like, it's another stadium show, right?
Yeah.
And the more stadium shows WWE can do, the bigger it shows like the kingdom is, the company is. And I don't like trying to do a one-off stadium show in Las Vegas doesn't work. I think they proved that, right? With Money in the Bank. They were going to do it at Allegiant Stadium, that big Las Vegas, and then they moved it to a smaller venue. But these overseas stadiums where you haven't been in forever, they're going to pack out. Clash at the Castle is huge. I mean, you have enough international stars to make it work. Look at Drew McIntyre's Sheamus. Those matches were phenomenal. So I have absolutely, and they don't tend to cater in these, right?
Yeah.
So I have no problem. I think this is exciting. I think it's fun. It will make, once again, this premium live event schedule needs to feel exciting. They're canceling Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell, to me, was a stupid premium live event because it's a match, right? I don't like entire cards that are built around one match.
Just add it to like one of the shows.
There you go. Nailed it, right?
Duh.
Just add it to any other pay-per-view you want to add it to.
Yeah.
And it exists and it's fine. Same with Extreme Rules is apparently under consideration to be canceled. With WWE's strict no blood and PG rating, I think that Extreme Rules is a little bit like outdated. I think that we saw that this last time, right?
It didn't seem very extreme.
That's exactly right. It's a stipulation. It's a full pay-per-view that can't, when you place all those matches on one card, you start to realize how not extreme they are.
Extreme is doing the one chip challenge.
And it's the same. It's the same thing with the Hell in a Cell. You can sprinkle in Extreme Rules matches anywhere you want them.
Yeah.
King of the Ring will be returning as its own premium live event. Love this idea. If you go,
don't remember King of the Ring.
it's just a tournament. It's a tournament. It's a tournament to get the crown.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And so if you
Wait, there was going to be a Queen of the Ring
there
at one
was
time,
Queen
right?
Zelina one,
Yes.
but they just did it on a like Monday Night Raw.
That's what happened.
This would be a 3-hour event. I think we're just featured this tournament. I love it. Don't put anything else on this premium live event. Make it feel independent and special from other events. And I like it. Like 2 tournaments that go on the same night. One crowns the king, one crowns the queen. And like that, to me, that's what a premium live event is supposed to be. It's not always just a payoff of the stories you have going on, but sometimes it's a break in the action to give us something very different.
Yeah.
They're talking about possibly an all women's yearly premium live event. They have the talent for this.
Yes.
And like I said, it's just a break in the action. Have a night where you celebrate the talent, the women's talent, and you have a big event and it can be fun. I had one time said they needed an all women's show, but this all women's premium live event seems more practical.
Yes.
Now, my problem is you're going to need some more titles and some more reason to be there. I think you can, on this show, you can mix NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. So you've got, you'll have the NXT women's title, the NXT women's tag titles, you have the women's tag titles, you'll have the Raw and SmackDown titles. They could use one more belt, I think.
Maybe they could have one specifically for that.
That's true.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that's not bad. And then apparently we're going to get another Mae Young Classic, which was this big women's tournament that spanned and it broke the forbidden door and it was all these independent wrestlers. This feels like it could work on men's and women's wrestling. An event that featured indie talent that was basically anybody WWE wanted to try out. You can put them in this tournament and then the winner should get a shot at like the Intercontinental Champion or something like that.
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
Give it a reason and let it be every year some up and comer.
It'd be exciting.
Yeah, I think so. So that's the premium live event schedule. They're making some changes.
I don't hate it.
I don't either. Like, basically, they're trimming the ones that are kind of fat. You're still going to have Royal Rumble. You're still going to have SummerSlam. You're going to have Crown Jewel, which means you're going to have Survivor Series. You get rid of Hell in a Cell. You'd still have Elimination Chamber. They do this every year. They just don't really make a big deal about it. They fluctuate on what they call these events. But I think like some of these events being replaced and giving bigger builds every 4 weeks sometimes feels too quick. But if every 4 weeks we were getting some kind of premium live event and it wasn't necessarily to further the stories, but it's just like, hey, exciting. Here's a big tournament we're going to do this month. Hey, here's a King of the Ring. That I think that can work.
Yeah.
All right, last topic of the day.
Okay.
Tuesday was a special day this week. It was NXT and AEW battling it out on Tuesday night television. And the topic this week is I watched both. I watched NXT and I watched AEW Dynamite. And who won the Tuesday Night War is the question I'm asking here. And it's funny that we even label this a war because after watching the two, it's never been more apparent. They are two different. They're not even flavors of ice cream. One's gelato and one's ice cream. They're two different just sports almost, right? But the truth is it's human nature. When two things line up and they look alike, we gotta decide between the two of those. We gotta decide which one won. But I think when we talk about this, AEW is the closest thing to WWE wrestling in terms of commercialism, right? NXT is a developmental program. That's what it is. And so both sides, I think, can come out of Tuesday and they can spin the narrative to their liking. It's interesting because the numbers that I saw, and I don't have any way to confirm these numbers, but these are the numbers that I saw for argument's sake was AEW Dynamite did 752,000 views and NXT did 676,000 views. So it's like 100,000 view difference. Yeah. Taking that at face value, you go, oh shit, right? AEW Dynamite is clearly in danger of becoming almost the third most important brand in pro wrestling. Yeah. I think, though, that you can spin this argument in multiple ways because I think AEW has the right to say here that by putting their show on a different night because of whatever, I believe it was baseball, I'm not sure. But that show being forced to go to Tuesday, you lose viewership just based on there's a certain amount of casual fans who didn't fucking know you were changing. They turned their TV on Wednesday and there was no wrestling.
Or if they were baseball fans or whatever.
Yeah, right. You're up against an event, so that number can look skewed, right? The other thing that AEW could say is, look, WWE had to fucking bring out all of this star power. Yeah. Shotzi, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke, Raquel. The OC, Raquel, Rhea Ripley, Judgment Day. They had to bring out all of these big guns to pump into NXT to make sure that these numbers looked like this. Yeah. Both fair arguments. Now, once again, we're going to get to this, but I don't know why NXT doesn't just do that on a regular basis. I think the argument that WWE can make is, you look at these numbers and WWE gets to say, we're basically, NXT is on par with AEW programming, right? Yeah. We put out our developmental program is basically as good as the best they plan to offer. I don't think that's true, but when you're making these conclusions, that's what people have to say. In reality, it's time to talk about it like this. Look, this is the reality of the nature and the kind of current status of pro wrestling. Okay. WWE Raw and SmackDown are clearly defined now as the top of the mountain. Yes. They are the apex of professional wrestling. There's no arguments here as far as commercial appeal. Main roster WWE is the standard. I'm not saying talent. AEW's got quite a bit of talent, but as far as production value, putting on a show, and what wrestling fans are interested in, and this isn't just internet wrestling fans, this is including all wrestling fans, WWE is the top of the mountain. AEW is the clear second. Don't care what the numbers say. Watching the program, it is the closest thing to main roster WWE when it comes to watching. When you see main events that are like Moxley, and you see Jericho, and you see these names, Orange Cassidy, they're more recognizable than NXT people. It's not even close.
At least I know who they are. Some NXT people, I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Thirdly, we have to NXT is a developmental brand. It's not going to be for everybody. If you watch it knowing that it's developmental, it can be fun. Mm-hmm. If you expect it to be just like amazing wrestling and spot fest, it's not going to be there. It's a good supplemental watch if you have a limited amount of time to watch wrestling, like I do. Yeah. I watch my core main WWE roster, and I don't have time to follow AEW because that's another big dose. But NXT is a fun supplemental brand of wrestling. And I would venture to say, I don't think there's any person in the world that doesn't live in Florida in the NXT area that NXT is their favorite brand of wrestling. I just don't think, like, I think that you have people who love AEW, you have people who love Raw, you have people who love SmackDown. You're going to be hard pressed to find someone who goes, my favorite wrestling show is NXT.
You're saying even if they live in Florida?
No, if they live in the area, it's possible because they're in the world of it, right? They go to the events. It would be like saying RCW in San Antonio is your favorite brand of wrestling, because when you go to an RCW show, the amount of like participation is completely different than when you go to Raw and SmackDown. You're one little fucking number in the crowd. When you go to RCW and you stand up and scream something, you're heard, right? When you go to NXT, it's just a little bigger than an indie show. Yeah. So you're you become part of the program. So there are sure people who are in the Florida area, in the NXT area, that is their favorite wrestling because they're there. But for the casual fan who's watching it on TV, I don't think so. But the bigger question in all this for me is, why are they not bringing more main talent to the NXT roster on a weekly basis? If this causes ratings boost, right? And this is on USA Network, and this is still a television show that needs ratings boost. Why not on a regular basis bring these people down? I want to watch it more. You, I believe, want to watch it more. Yeah. When we see faces like Rhea Ripley, and Shinsuke Nakamura, and the OC, and Kevin Owens, and Shotzi, there should be a healthy dose of main roster talent and meaningful feuds on NXT on a weekly basis. You have so many people on the main roster who sit around and have nothing to do, right? You go through that roster. I read it earlier. I'm not going to read it again, but you read names and there's a bunch of people who have nothing to do.
I agree.
And so integrate those people into NXT and it becomes a much more pleasurable watch to me. And main roster talent, they did it with Dolph Ziggler not too long ago, where Dolph went down and won the NXT title, and that brought attention to Braun Breaker. And I think you could do it with tag teams. They toyed with like Doudrop and Nikki ASH. But like
that just wasn't a good.
I think you got to go one step more. Have Seth Rollins show up on NXT for 1 month. Have Bayley and Damage Control go down there for 1 month, 2 months. This rotating the talent will have your eyes everywhere. You'll be watching NXT, you'll be watching Raw, you'll be watching SmackDown. It'll integrate all that developmental. And then in turn, people like us will begin to learn. It won't be a big surprise when Raquel Rodriguez debuts on WWE main roster, right? To us, we're like, who the fuck is that?
Yes.
But now that I've been watching a little NXT, it's not going to be a big surprise when Cameron Grimes shows up on Monday Night Raw. I'm like, I know who that is. Yeah. I know who that guy is. I get it now, right? So I think by circling the main talent, and I get the travel issue, but fuck you, WWE, you've got so much money. You can make it work. Like, have these guys and girls do stints where they're down in Florida for 2 months at a time, and they're rotating in and they're putting over young talent. It's not going to affect, I
mean, I really think that it's beneficial for everybody.
I do too. Especially, I mean, we talk about like Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan could benefit more than almost anybody from going down and joining Toxic Attraction, or going down and going against Toxic Attraction.
That would be a good match.
And being able to grab a microphone on a weekly basis and talk to people and get comfortable. I mean, Mandy Rose came out the other night and she's considerably better than she was, but she's still not there.
No.
She's still not ready on a microphone, but being able to speak on a weekly basis, you will get better. Like I saw this last week on AEW, there was a promo between MJF and William Regal where, they did their thing and it was a fucking phenomenal promo. But the most important thing I took out of it was William Regal telling MJF, you got to practice this every day. When you brush your teeth, you got to talk into the mirror. I can tell you from podcasting, right? The more you talk and the more you begin to generate ideas and do podcasts, you just get comfortable doing it. But if I could only do this once a month and I only got 5 minutes, I wouldn't be comfortable talking. And someone like Dominic Mysterio, who they asked to go out on national TV and deliver 2 lines maybe every 3 weeks, he can't cut his chops. Like, there's no reps in that. And so, like, Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, they should definitely rotate in. But I even more than that, like Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Mustafa Ali. And these people, I think wrestlers got to quit looking at it as a demotion and look at it almost as like being on tour, like the Harlem Globetrotters, right? You're just showing off your talent in a different place, in a different medium, against different opponents. And you're kind of doing your time to train the younger generations. All right, let's talk some fantasy wrestling here. Let me pull up.
Right.
First, we'll talk about the CWC Official League, which is me versus you. It's not much to talk about here anymore.
Yeah.
I'm at 1,615 points, 1,615. That was a weird way to say that. And you're at 1,389.
I've just kind of given up on that one.
That league is...
I'm excited about the other one.
Yeah, I'm not. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Casual Wrestling Community Premier League. You are currently in first place. What in the actual fuck? You didn't even draft. You were fucking mid-haunted house in SeaWorld. And some of these people were placed upon you. You've got Io Sky, who's doing phenomenal.
Yep.
Riddle, who's going to continue to do phenomenal.
Yep.
You picked up LA Knight, which I'm not going to lie, thought was a dumb choice. He looks like he's going to be a big deal. And then you have Butch, and you have fucking Elias.
Yeah.
How did I not get on any of this?
Well, because I knew that, like, when you told me, like, Elias is coming back, I was like, need him. LA Knight, once I saw that they put all this stock into maximal male models.
But you drafted LA Knight.
Yeah. That was part of my, I used my brain.
Number 2 in our league is 3 VLG with 129 points. Points are hard to come by in this league, so that's a pretty...
But that makes it more exciting.
You've got about an 11 point... he's literally all Seth Rollins. Come on, this is bullshit. He's got 120. That doesn't make sense. That math doesn't check out. I'm going to have to check that. Okay. He's got 129 points, but Seth Rollins has 124. Wait, he must have had someone else and he dropped him and picked somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Because his roster is all free agents.
Okay.
Interesting here. Yeah, that's okay. Ocasio is in third place, 123. LGRSM 118. Snuggles 81. Big A 74. Alex the Pants 67, Super Kick Me 63, King Bost 50, Breezy 72-44, D Cole 34, Notorious Nerdy D 29 points. But I'm gonna say,
what place you in?
I'm not in last place, motherfuckers. I told y'all that after last week I wouldn't be in last place. Now I didn't say
what place,
where the fuck I was heading up to. But B Master 84, thank you for allowing me one more point than you. Can
you just tell me one more time, like, who's in first place?
You're in first place.
Thank you.
There's a lot of chatter going on. You might have to get in on this.
I gotta jump in on it.
There's a message board that I didn't even know existed that I'm loving here. That people are talking back and forth. And I gotta get
in there. I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be my mission this week, is to get into that chatter board.
Let's see. Let's look at who scored well on Raw. The top scorer was Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, The Miz, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Luke Gallows.
Wow.
Nobody. I didn't say that. You guys pretend like I didn't say that because I need to jump and get Luke Gallows.
Yeah, we know who
and
you're
Carl
gonna go
Anderson.
pick up now.
I need to get the OC. Baron Corbin. I did go try and pick up Baron Corbin to realize someone already had him. Dominic Mysterio and Mustafa Ali. Interesting. There's a lot of names on there that have a lot of points that nobody has.
True. Well, because I never thought Mustafa Ali would be one.
And I don't know how long he's going to do it. And then on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio 38, Sami Zayn 29, Bayley 27, Dakota Kai 27, Io Sky 27, LA Knight 27, Liv Morgan 27, Cruz del Toro 25, Joaquin Wilde 25, and Braun Strowman 20. I picked up, I did make a roster move I will talk about.
Who'd you get?
I picked up
Braun Strowman.
Santos Escobar.
Okay.
Of Legazmo Fantasma,
the new group.
Yeah. So I picked him up. Interesting. I'll see if he does any better than
could be. I mean, they could be like Hit Row, where they just come every week.
I had Shotzi and drop Shotzi. So Shotzi's available if anybody wants to go fucking pick her up. She's doing shit on NXT right now.
Oh, well then bye, Shotzi. Bye, girl, bye.
She's the host of Halloween Havoc.
Okay.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I'm fucking excited for tonight. I need to find out what Bray Wyatt's up to, and that we'll get into the message boards.
You're going to get into the message boards on the Fantasy League. This has been another episode of the CWC Wrestling Podcast. Make sure to tune in every week on either YouTube or Spotify. And please make sure to leave a comment on the video. Answer one of the questions. Just let us know how you're doing. Also, make sure to follow us on TikTok. If you don't already, just search for Notorious Nerdy D. We are closing in on season 1 of the casual wrestling community content, which will be the daily show from 1 to 2 p.m. every Monday through Friday and every Wednesday, WWE in review. So make sure, guys, start submitting matches. I'm ready to be told what to watch. We've got 2 in the can.
I'm excited.
2 in the can. So. Start throwing them out there. Anything. And they don't have to be notoriously good either. Mm-hmm. Like, throw anything. If you want to throw a curveball, we'll watch some bad matches as well.
Yeah.
Like, so just throw us something fun. I know I got to go back and look. Someone suggested TLC with Edge, Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys, which is one I think would be a lot of fun to watch. One thing that fucked me up going back and watching a match was I forgot that we haven't always had widescreen on TVs.
Oh, shit.
Watching that shit in a little box was a little eye-opener.
That stuff bothers you. I don't even notice it.
Yeah, I mean, like, the production quality back then, I thought, like, oh, this is fucking insane.
The best.
Watching it now, I'm like, whoa, like, this is what I was just fucking enamored with when I was in 6th grade.
Fuck yeah.
But as always, I am the Notorious Nerdy D. That is Level Up Lauren, and you can ring the final bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Step in the ring, if you ready, let's go. Hey, casual wrestling community show. You already know, talking WWE. Keep it rolling and hosted by Notorious Nerdy D. Don't for sure that you gon' find. Tune in cause it's online. Hit 'em with a figure 4 leg lock, power driver, or clothesline.